Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's always a good day to talk about the importance of recovery. And today, I'm going to be talking to you. Well, let me introduce myself to those who may not know me or never watched this show before. This is a mentoring MIT group session, and this is we call it MIT, that stands for Men in Training. And the focal point of it is to help men recover and restore healthy lifestyle, not only for them, but those who they love and those who they come in contact with, whether it be their family members, friends, co-workers. And so we thought it was a great idea to talk about mentoring, a subject, a topic that oftentimes get ignored because of so much that's going on. And so we want to combat that and bring it to the focal point or to the forefront and make it our focal point of talking about basically what this topic is all about. And so I'm going to put it on the screen. And so today we're going to be talking about why having a role model helps with recovery, mentoring group. All right? It's why having a role model help with recovery, mentoring group. And so my name is Craig. I am a certified peer recovery specialist here at Capital Recovery Center. And we're going to get right into it. And so we're going to have a little elaboration of what this article is talking about. This article was brought to us by taborgroup.ie. Tabor, T-A-B-O-R, or Tabor Group.ie. And so the article talks about a role model is someone who admire and try to imitate. A role model is someone you admire and try to imitate. The most common reason why people will copy someone else is that they believe that it will benefit them in some way. All right? And so that's one of the common reasons why people copy someone else or look up to someone else is because they will benefit in some type of way. There's many factors that can be drawn from that. And so many aspects that one can draw from imitating someone lifestyle. And so our goal is to imitate or to look up to someone who's doing the right thing, living a healthy lifestyle. All right. And so as humans, we learn from each other, right? It is called social learning. As human, we are social beings. We communicate with one another, we relate to one another. And so we have this social aspect about ourselves that we often have to interact with one another. And the goal is to interact productively. By watching others, we observe what to do and what not to do. It is possible for a role model to have a good or bad influence, right? A good or bad influence. Anytime I think about when you talk about the good and bad, I think about a scale or judicial scale where they weigh or decision of good behavior and bad behaviors. All right, and so that's one aspect of it. This is why celebrities and athletes are having criticism, are heavily criticized when they engage in negative behavior, such as taking drugs or cheating. The worry is that their fans might be encouraged to copy them. And that is so true. That is so true. Oftentimes when people evolve from certain environments and they get a level of success, we are rooting and cheering for that person. And when they begin to get into negative behaviors, what we can consider falling from grace, then it may leave a bad image of that person, and it may send a wrong message, especially to young people who look up to athletes and celebrities, whether it be entertainers, actors, whatever sports, soccer, basketball, football, baseball, whatever that you're interested in. And so we always want to, because we hold them to higher standards in life. And so just as we expect greatness of them, people in our community do the same within our household, within at work, whether at church, whatever social gatherings that you participate in. People are holding us at a level of high expectancy of a healthy lifestyle. Let's talk about another part of this article that mentions role models, and that is role models have time, role models save time and effort. All right? Role models save time and effort. What that entails? Okay, let's see what the article talks about. It says humans tend to look to other people for clues about how best to navigate life. This means that people can learn without the need to experience everything for themselves. Imitating these role models can save time and effort. If other people make a mistake, it is possible to learn from this. There is no need to repeat the mistake. If people are successful at something, then it makes sense to try to copy their action. All right? And it says there's no need to repeat the mistake, right? And so that's why it's so important to have role models that teaches us and help us along the journey. And as the topic says, role models save time and effort. So a role model should be someone who illustrate what to do, what not to do, should give us some advice and should be able to encourage us in whatever endeavors, especially when it comes to building a family, a career, building upon our growth process, whatever realm that you are developing in. And so a role model who can give us some pointers, who can show us, help us navigate through this process, it would save us a whole lot of time of repeating or failing. Not to say that we will not sometime fail at certain things, but that's only through trial and error. And so don't be afraid to fail. One of the best lessons of life is to fail because you can learn something, especially when you really want to learn something, not to just dwell in the mistake, but become better than the mistake. Oh man, I like that one. That was pretty cool. I like saying that. All right, and it says, the article goes on to says, it is particularly important for people who are recovering from addiction to have good role models. Let me read that again. It is particularly important for people who are recovering from an addiction to have good role models. This will allow them to follow a path to success that has already been well trodden, right? So a good role model will help us to overcome some of the barriers, some of the pitfalls that they may have experienced or that they know of someone else who have experience. And so they can be very enlightful during that process. So it says early recovery can be particularly difficult. So it makes sense to follow in the footsteps of those who have successfully navigated this path previously. A good role model in recovery would be an individual who has built a successful life away from addiction. And I hope whoever see this this group, this session, will grab something out of it, get something out of it. Give us a contact here at Capital Recovery Center. We're located at 72 North Pearl Street here in Bristol, New Jersey. Telephone number 856-391-7449. Let us know if you ever watched this group or session, and if you learned anything and that you took something away that can be beneficial not only to you but to someone that's near and dear to you. Please contact us. Let us know. We love to hear from you, and that's with all sincerity. So let's talk about something else. Motivating. It's always good to be motivating, and to encourage others. All right, and so we're going to talk about motivating and what that looks like. So the article says, in AA, if everybody, the people watching this not familiar with AA, that is Alcoholics Anonymous, they advise members to stick with the winners. Once again, in Alcoholics Anonymous, in AA, they advise members to stick with the winners. What they mean by this is that spending time with those individuals who have built a successful recovery is beneficial. It is not only possible to learn a great deal from these individuals, but it can also be highly motivating. You know, think about it. Have you ever been around someone and they are a winner and they constantly winning, and you see the fruits of their labor and benefits of their diligent discipline, their determination? Wouldn't that motivate you? Wouldn't that be motivating to say, wow, man, that person there, you know, not only is that person someone special, but that person there, they are someone that I would love to learn how do they do it? How did they do it? What makes them keep on winning? We're gonna stick with that word, winning and motivating. There's nothing like a winner. Even in competitive sports, you know, whether you play sports as an adolescent or as a younger person coming up, and you always want to win because you always want to do what? Celebrate. You always want to celebrate a victory. And that is the main goal, to be able to celebrate the victory. Here at Capital Recovery, we talk about, and other groups, we talk about celebrating small victory, especially those who are in early recovery. You know, a lot of times that gets overlooked because we may have our sights on the bigger picture, but yet during the journey, might be some small accomplishment that we may not even acknowledge or may not even celebrate. And so remember, celebrate some of the small things that you're doing. So the articles talk about motivating. It says they are living proof of what is possible to achieve in life away from alcohol and drugs. talking about people who are very motivating, people who are winners, people who are successful. This encourages the individual to think, if they can do it, then I can do it. All right. And so if you see someone you're hanging around and you see them winning and they motivate you, say to yourself, if they can do it, so can I. Let's talk about who makes a good role model, right? A role model can be a sponsor who has successfully graduated from a treatment program, a family member or friend who forms part of a support network, someone in the community who offers guidance and encouragement, an addiction counselor who is trained to help people through treatment, a public figure who has shared their struggle with the world. Those are five uh, very strong bullet points that talks about what makes a good role model. I'm gonna read it again because I think it's so important. I don't want to speed read through this material. And so it says a role model can be a sponsor. That's number one, right? Then it says number two is talking about a family member or friend, right? Then number three says someone in the community. Number four, it says an addiction counselor. And number five, a public figure. All right? Those are five uh, great aspects of a leader that we can to look up to as role models. How to choose a role model? Let's talk about that. How can we choose a good role model? How can we recognize a good role model? What does that look like? Let's see what the article says. Do choose someone with whom you feel a personal connection. Don't choose someone who merely because they are popular. Do, do choose someone who is available to offer help and support when you need it. Don't choose someone because they might help you get ahead in business, make money, or expand your network. Try and choose someone who is actively engaged in a local recovery group. All right? And so all those things are fine and dandy, good accolades of people who can help you connect with network, businesses, money, uh, and things of that nature. But if you're in recovery, the article says try and choose someone who is actively now, not someone that's idly, say, in a group setting or idly going about their lives in recovery, but you want to choose someone who is actively doing the work, volunteering, participating, engaging, interacting. That's who you want to be with someone who is actively engaged in a local recovery group. Wow, that's powerful. That is powerful. Okay. Now let's talk about how to benefit from a role model. Hmm. There are five bullet points here. We're going to talk about how to benefit from a role model. Such people will be able to offer sound advice about how to make a successful life and recovery. These are people who are talking from experience. That's number one. Number two, these individuals are positive, and such positivity can be contagious. Woo, woo, whoa. Oh, they talking and talking this article. They can be someone who can be contagious. Contagious. That is, they can rub off. You can rub shoulders with them. You could be in their presence, and you can, what they call y'all vibing, or whether you can grow from, and y'all just on the same wavelength. You know how the young people talk. And so these are some of the things that you can benefit from role models. All right. So number one says such people will be able to offer sound advice. And number two says these individuals are positive, and such positivity can be contagious. All right. Number three, it says it is inspiring to see that people can build a great life away from drugs and alcohol. Right? Should be able, it should motivate you, it should be inspiring, it should be exciting, right? To be around great people or people that have built a great life around away from alcohol and drugs. All right. And number four, it says people who are doing well in their own recovery often want to give something back by helping other people who are finding things difficult. These are some of the benefits from a role model. And number five talks about a role model will be able to set a good example in many areas of life. Good examples, right? As opposed to bad examples. And that's why I said early on in this group that mentoring really don't get the light or the necessary attention that it deserves. And so we're going to try to change those lenses and focus more on better improving people's lives better. All right. Let's go on to talk about the dangers of poor role models. There are some good role models and there are some bad role models. But the article says use the word poor. It didn't say bad, it says poor, right? And so when you think of the difference from a poor role model, you may say, well, they may not be developed in certain areas. They may not have may not be as enthusiastic, right? They may not be compassionate. They might not be outgoing or actively involved, right? And so it says dangers of poor role models. It is also important to avoid negative role models. There are people who no longer drink alcohol or take drugs, but have still failed to find happiness and recovery. I was about to go somewhere with that because a lot of times people have evolved, like the article says, evolved or emerged or restrained from alcohol or drugs or from different behaviors or different aspects of their life. They may have grasped hold of some inspiring information that really transformed their lives, but yet there may be some underlying issues that they have not addressed fully. I hope that helped with what I want. So I said it in a roundabout way, what I want to say, but I said it in that way so that you'll get the picture. All right? It says, it said dangers of poor role models. It is also important to avoid negative role models. There are people who no longer drink alcohol or take drugs, but have still failed to find happiness and recovery. Such individuals can be full of negative thinking and resentment. They not only offer bad advice, the article says they not only offer bad advice, but their negativity can be infectious. Those who are ready to relapse may want to take other people down with them. Wow. It says those who are ready to relapse may want to take other people down with them. We call it crabs in a pot. If you ever boil crabs, if you ever seen crabs boiling, live crabs that is, you will see what we mean by crabs in a pot. You know, when one try to make it to the top, the one at the bottom trying to pull them back down with them so that they can get to the top. And so you want to avoid at all costs negative role models, because the article says they can be infectious, right? And we all know what infectious means, like a disease or a virus, right? We're just trying to get over the COVID. So, you know what they did when the COVID came out? You had to get a shot, then you had to get another shot, then you had to get a booster. And so with role models, you may have to keep searching until you find the right role models, right? Dangers of putting people on pedestal. This is major, major, major. Be careful. Do not put people on pedestals. Putting too much faith in role models can lead to disappointment. All humans are fallible, but it can come as a shock when a role model falls from grace. It can be a shock when a role model falls from grace. Those in early recovery can be traumatized if someone they admire relapses, and they may even be tempted to follow their hero back into a life of alcohol and drug. I gotta read that again. I have to read that again. Dangers of putting people on pedestals. Those in early recovery, all right? Those who are in early recovery, beware, can be traumatized if someone they admire relapses, and they may even be tempted to follow their hero, right, back into a life of alcohol and drugs. This is why it is so important to have realistic expectations of role models. For the mentees and those who are watching, it's so important to have realistic expectation of role models. Know for sure for certainty, what aspect, what characteristics of a role model that you would like to engage, and not only that you engage, but you as a person, as a role model that's in recovery, you want to set certain standards for yourself as well. And so, just as people hold us accountable, we have to hold ourselves accountable. By that, we have to be responsible, right? We got to keep that in mind. We want responsible people that's really genuinely sincere about the aspect of either being a mentor that's willing and able to be a role model. We don't want to put people on a pedestal, right? We do not want to put people on pedestal. What we want to do is be selective. Role models are supposed to uphold high morals and values and exercise them regularly. When doing this, they gain respect from others and encourage others to do the same. If you're considering a role model in recovery, be selective in who you choose and always reevaluate if their influence is having a positive effect on your motivations and recovery. Having a role model can be a wonderful thing. Let me read that again. Having a role model can be a wonderful thing. And there are so many benefits if you have the right person. Wow. I'm excited to be able to just read this article and share it with those who may be watching or those who may watch it later on. This is so important. This is so important to know these topics, these subject matters, to be able to share with all those who we come in contact and to exhibit them. Hold these standards to a high level, because there's a podcast, a guy he calls it high level conversation. And so we need to have high level conversations. We need to have high level standards. We need to have high level expectations. And so we don't want to put people on the pedestal, but we want to be, we want to hold them accountable, and we want to hold ourselves accountable. All right. And so once again, my name is Craig. I'm a certified peer recovery specialist here at Capital Recovery Center. If anybody's watching this, if you would like to share any comments, ideas, please contact us here at Capital Recovery Center. Telephone numbers going across the screen: 856-391-7449 or 1-800-236-2448. And as always, how can we help you with your recovery today? And what does recovery mean to you? All right, and so take care, stay blessed, and I will hopefully see you on the next one.